to the biggest final in 2025. Forget about Champions League final, forget about any other final. Today is the biggest day. We have the Startup Slam final. As you know, we had the international events last year, all the 3 winners here. Yesterday, there was the final. So we have the winner of the international ones here today and the winner of the national one, which was the competition today. But here with me is Vuk from BCG.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Yes, how you are? So tell us a little bit about what you're doing with BCG, with BCGX, why startups are so important for you, and what's inspiring you.
Yes, exactly. So first and foremost, I'm very proud to be part of a company who's bet on sustainability very early on and very deeply. And our current leader has made climate and AI as the 2 pillars of our legacy, and we are making great progress as a firm against those. We're perhaps not making as great progress on climate as a humanity, and it won't be silly not to say that it's not an easiest time now. But startups are now in this space actually even more important than before. And in our practice, we are finding how the interest in sustainability is still there, but it has to solve real and urgent problem and has to deliver that value. And really interestingly, that's the conversation that many corporates are actually willing to have. And in that context, they're very open to understand what are the new solution providers that are coming up. And we're only staying relevant because we are investing a lot of time in trying to stay close to scale-up community and very openly learn from them and hopefully help them out on the way.
Amazing. And I think we have 2 amazing solutions here today.
We do. It's great.
Yes. But we also have a prize. It's a little bit out of the sun here. So, Vuk, tell us a little bit about the prize, what the winner will get today.
The winner would get essentially the chance to work together with us, and that has been a tried and tested sort of program that we have been running in a variety of formats, so to speak. But essentially, the chance is to get to know each other better, but much more importantly, not just us in BCGX, but to kind of from us to understand the really problems and inflection points that we can help with, and then bring to bear a variety of our experts from across BCG universe to, in very sort of pinpointed fashion, help them along eventually where they perhaps become a full-fledged client one day. That would be the dream for
Perfect. Thank you very much for providing this. I know it's a very special gift for the winner. I'm going to explain a little bit how it works. Those who have been here yesterday know kind of the setup, and from the national one as well. So we have 2 finalists. Each will have 3 minutes of pitch. They will explain what they're doing. We are very strict on the time. Then we have 2 minutes of questions from Vuk and also from the audience. So if you have some questions already, raise your hands, not now, but later, to ask some questions. And then we have a voting. The voting will be different compared to last year because within the audience, we have a jury seating, right? It's 17, I think 15 or 17 people who will vote live for the winner. We're going to hide the audience, but they're there. You will see it then online. So it's not about the bigger audience. It's about really the experts we have here who will vote for the winner. I think that's it. I think we are ready. Are you guys ready for the final? Come on, guys. All right. Then, Vuk, we're going to go a little bit on the side, and I think you are ready to announce our first finalist.
First finalist coming straight from UK, the winner of actually both London Heat, as well as in the international edition. It's Elissa from Radiant Matter.
Big applause, guys. Welcome back, and the 3 minutes are yours.
Great. Hi. We on? Here we go. Okay, brilliant color is everywhere, but it is destroying our planet. So anyone that's been to a Taylor Swift concert lately will have seen the field demand for colorful sparkle. But it's not just pop culture and clothing. This type of colorful sparkle touches each and every part of our daily lives. The problem is that industries have no sustainable way to make this type of color effect materials, for a variety of reasons as shown here on the slide. And we're seeing new government legislation come into force banning these types of materials because they're starting to understand the scale of the problem. And that's For example, 1.7 million sequin garments are sent to landfills annually in the UK alone. Glitter is the third most common particle type found in wastewater treatment plants, and the cosmetic industry uses over 5,000 tons of microplastics annually. Now, at Radiant Matter, in order to find a solution, nature is our inspiration. What all these images show on the screen is structural color. Now, structural color is where the nanoarchitecture of the material aligns in the way that refracts light to create a metallic shine. And this underpins the fundamental innovations at Radiant Matter, where we create structurally colored materials from cellulose. So they're biodegradable, they're plant-derived, it can come from waste even. They have zero metals, minerals, pigments, or dyes, while achieving this incredible coloration. They're also color-fast, lightweight, and we can tune the properties of them. The industries that are in need of our technology are luxury goods, packaging and print, textiles, we have cosmetics, party supplies, paints, even automotive. And this is representing a £70 billion market that we are ready to disrupt. And we have the optimal team positioned to do this, crossing science and industry expertise, and it's why we were backed by leading deep tech and climate investors. We've also recently partnered with Stella McCartney to showcase a demonstration of our materials. This is to replace plastic sequins as a demonstrator for the textiles industry. And one of our images was also on the landing page of LVMH, which really marks a pivotal moment in biomaterial innovation showcase. We are revolutionizing sustainable color effects across multiple industries. I've got some samples here if you want to grab me after, and I can show them to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elissa. Book, I know you have some very good questions. So guys, you can already think about questions. Please raise your arms. We have a microphone here. In the meantime, Book, ask your question, because I know you're waiting for it.
Well, the way you talk about sequins, they're small, so how will you make a big impact?
Beyond sequins?
Yes.
Yep, so we're building out like a material platform technology. So this is something that can be used for sequins, as well as things like glitter, color effects, imagining like the foiling that's on packaging, and all these sorts of different areas where where different industries use this type of color effect. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the impact we can have is huge across different markets, but sequins is a very visual and great demonstrator to start with.
It certainly gets the attention and the headlines in front cover pages of magazines, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, and most of these materials are quite hidden, so it's nice to actually bring it to the forefront so people actually really see it. Yeah.
All right, we have one audience question there.
Hi. First of all, love the biomimicry. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I just have a quick question. How do your price points compare to what's already in the industry?
Yeah, at the moment we're lab scale, so our prices are quite high. We see the pathway that we have is to be able to reduce that dramatically. We will never be able to match exactly like for like of plastic that's out there. We have a lot of process improvements for manufacturers, so that also helps in being cost effective. And the other thing is that the material is such a small component of the final product, but has such a big impact. So it can be that tiny bit higher, and it can still even out for the customer. Yeah.
All right, there was one more question over there.
Yeah, amazing product. One question: what is the end of life of your product?
Depends on the application. So for something like cosmetics, it goes straight down the sink and into waterways. You want that to be something that's safe and that can biodegrade really quickly. But then for things like textiles, you need more durability. So we are able, our science team can tailor that type of durability to make it suit the application. So for things, special process.
At the end of life, do you need some sort of special end-of-life process, or does it just disappear?
It fits into existing processes, so this won't have to go into its own stream of end of life. What we're doing is looking at what the existing system looks like and making sure our material fits into that. So for textiles, most garments with anything that's sparkly or any type of embellishment actually goes straight to landfill or incineration. And so that is the reality of what's happening. Even so, we fit into that. So we want our materials to be better for that type of circularity. There's also things like cellulose recycling that's coming into play in textiles. So our material can also fit into that as well. So we're sort of looking at what's out there and making sure it's fit for that purpose. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Elissa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Big round of applause. Yes, absolutely. Very well done. And I think we can go straight to the second finalist.
The local champion, so
The
to
local
speak,
champion, correct.
straight from Hamburg, by the route of Jonathan. Welcome.
Hi. Welcome. And also for you, 3 minutes for you. We will be very strict on that, and then we're going to have some questions.
Yes.
Great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here to talk about proteins, and I'm super proud and happy that finally this topic, which is so important, makes it to the main stage. That is really needed. And when I talk of proteins, I don't just mean the protein shake. I mean the proteins we eat every day, all of us. Proteins are essential for life. They build our cells. They are important for our immune system. They give us our energy. Without proteins, our bodies cannot function. But let's also talk emissions. And I think the first one, you all are aware, the aerospace industry is emitting 2.5% of our global greenhouse gas emission. The protein problem is 6 times bigger. And that's what we change. Because with MicroHarvest, we are able to reduce the emissions by 98% compared to meat. So that's what we do. How do we do it? It's in the end quite simple. We take microorganisms from nature. You know them from the fermentation of yogurt, from the fermentation of kimchi, from the fermentation of sauerkraut. And we take these microorganisms and put them into a process similar than a brewery, and then we brew proteins. And the output is a protein without any compromise. So you get, as you see here, a protein powder, which is not just a powder, it is amazing in taste and has the perfect nutritional profile. That means we have all amino acids in there, we have a very good digestibility, and then, of course, that is essential for the food we eat. But I have 2 more examples. The pet food industry is a 130 billion industry. It's humongous. And this industry is relying on non-sustainable proteins. 100% almost. I mean, if you know a dog that eats vegan, you are in a great but tiny bubble. The next example here is the aqua industry. Do you know what the fish eats that you buy in the supermarket? It is eating fish. The fish is eating fish. Why is the fish not eating protein? Because there is no product on the market, and plant-based protein is not having the nutritional value needed. So we catch fish in our oceans to feed fish, and that's what we are changing with MicroHarvest. So yeah, you're welcome to scan this code and follow us on our mission.
Thank you very much. Very inspiring, very interesting. Again, question. Think about some questions. In the meantime, Book,
But
go ahead.
my question is evidently an amazing and amazing opportunity, huge market, and also very interesting solution with fermentation. What needs to change in our food systems or our disposal systems for your solution to scale even faster?
Yeah, now we have the technology and we are building really a plant in big scale. But of course, the whole system needs to adapt. The good ingredients is there, but we need the aqua farmers to adapt to the new proteins, and fish meal might be cheap and available. And we need the pet food industry to make the paradigm shift. I was at the pet food show, one of the biggest European pet food shows, and the big brands are advertising it is 90% filet. I mean, with this advertisement, we are not getting further. And of course, the industry needs to adapt, and also, of course, the food industry. But in the food industry, I see the chance is much bigger, because we are not just replacing. There is so much you can do with this new ingredients, and there's so much more than replacing beef. So if you go into the development teams of the companies out there, you see how many amazing products which are just not existing like this will come to the market, and that change is really needed.
All right, there was one question over there and one over there.
Hi, I just have a question, because you're looking at three very different sector target group, always a very different set of regulation on the national and European level. Could you tell us which one you're focusing on? Because it seems like a lot to tackle all at once.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, why we do all the three. So we decided not to go for an end product, but to go for a protein powder, to be able to really tackle different markets, because what we can do is our process, and our process is so efficient. So if we would then go just for a burger patty, we would kind of not take the full potential out of the process. And then there's different regulations for aqua feed and pet food. We have all regulations that you can think of. So we are selling already, and you can already buy us in our customers' pet food, or we are selling already to the aqua feed industry. Fortunately, the regulations for the food are much bigger, and it's a very extensive process, which is positive. What could change if the process would be faster? We would be already selling in food, and that will take another year or two to be really selling in food. But then we are able to deliver to all three markets, because we are in ingredients and not an end product.
All right, there was one more question here with a quick answer.
Yes. How are you dealing with the crowd market right now?
What do you mean with crowd market?
So when you do it, I mean, there are a lot of startups that are trying to do the same. So how do you compare with them?
So there's actually not many startups that really do biomass fermentation, so that they focus on mass output, and they take the most efficient process to get to a lot of output. There's not a lot out there. And for the few, 2-3 names globally that are doing the same, we are happy, because in the end, our customers want to have a second source supplier. So we are cheering for them to survive, to make it, because in the end, the market, you said it, it's huge. It's a humongous market. We will not be able, no matter how fast we scale, to supply the whole market. And that's why we are cheering for any competitor that is also doing the same and is also bringing impact to the space.
Perfect. That's originally our motto, together we change. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Stay on stage. Jonathan, stay on stage. Elissa, come up on stage, please. Thank you very much, both of you. Please come in the middle. It's your time to shine. I think, Dale, the voting is ready. So our jury, which is in the audience, please start the voting progress now. You all have the link, so please start now, and then we're gonna see who will win. We already have 3 votes in the making, and it's going along. Ooh, MicroHarvest is leading. First it was Radiant Matter. Now it's Radiant Matter again. Now we're waiting for a couple more. Oh, it's very, very tight. Oh, look at this. That's exactly one, because both are winners, actually. Active poll. I think, as I've seen the numbers, oh, it's a very close call.
I think Radiant Matter, yeah.
Can we see a difference here? Well, I think we have a winner. Elissa, congratulations. That's your applause.
Great.
We should share it.
Congratulations. You are the winner
Congratulations, once
of the
again.
Startup Slam Grand Final 2025. Big congratulations also to you, Jonathan. Thanks for being here with us. And That was the 2025 edition. The 2026 one will come soon. So get ready, get your startups rolling. And yeah, thank you very much.